How you doing? How you doing? It's another beautiful day. I am excited for sure. Um, because of this coming week, the markets are open. Today's on a Sunday. I'll be doing some chart markups at least so that we can prepare for this coming week and see exactly what to look for, what to expect, and all that. So before I even dive into it, right? Before I even dive into it, let us look at Forex Factory. And if you are new and you're wondering what Forex Factory is all about, Forex Factory just gives us news, okay? Forex Factory gives us news of what is happening or will be happening, around the world, news that may actually affect the market, right? And one of the many reasons I like it is that it gives you the yellow folders, red folders, and the brown folders actually telling you the kind of impact to expect with the news for that particular time. So just looking at this, I have all my pairs marked up. Like if you wanted to change it, if you wanted to look at something different, you would come in here and click on settings, right? You'd click on settings over here. And right now, you're able to just look at a few things here, what you want to have for your scanner and all that, for your calendar, anything that you want to change, you could do that up here, okay? Then you have all these pairs right here showing you how the market is gaining or the market is losing. And we're going to go through the market itself so that we can actually see what's happening, right? So on Monday, we do have news with Australian dollar. And that's a high impact news, okay? There's a table of content. Usually it's on the left side. Let me see if I can pull it up. Telling us what the different folders mean. But the red folders are high impact news, right? You're expecting some kind of big reaction from the market. The yellow folders, this is low impact news. It's still news nonetheless, but it's low impact news. So you're not really worried about it. Then you have the brown folders here. So on Tuesday, we have some medium impact news on the Canadian dollar, okay? So we have the core retail sales. And if you want to know more about what these things are all about, like for example, Australian dollar, this is the news tomorrow. You could come here, detail, and open the details, and it tells you what exactly this is all about, okay? The source, Reserve Bank of Australia, usual effect, more hawkish than expected is good for currency. So if there is good news, then you know it's gonna be good, right? The frequency is that this happens 11 times per year, 2 weeks after the cash rate is announced, okay? And it gives you the next date. Why traders care? It's a detailed record of the RBA, Reserve Bank Board's most recent meeting, providing in-depth insights into the economic conditions that influenced their decision on where to set the interest rates. And of course, just like it is with the Federal Reserve Bank in the US, the federal bank rather, right? Interest rates are a big deal in the market. If you have good interest rates, like right now as we are talking, we know that the Fed chair was just talking about tapering back so that we get back to, because we've been pretty much running on zero interest rates, right? They've been doing the QE, the quantitative easing, and right now they're looking to taper back the interest rates so that we can get back to having interest rates in the market. So you're able to see what the news are all about and all that stuff. So this is really good stuff, right? You can come in here and you can see that. And in case you're wondering, where else can you get Forex news from? There is, let me see if I'll actually remember the name. It's called investing.com. Invest in, I think it's this one right here. There's definitely, like you all know, there will be a lot of websites out there that can actually help you, and then to see what's actually happening in the market. So investing.com, you have the news here. You can click on that. Is this what I was searching for? Let's see. Okay. This just shows us what is happening. It's not really what I was searching for, but there is another website. There's another website that is, I thought this was it, investing.com, but this is not what I was looking for. Or news and analysis. Let's see. Okay, this is not it. But in my next videos, I'm going to make sure that I definitely get the actual site, and then make it known to us, because the more the options you have, the better, of course, for you. So Tuesday we have news on the Canadian dollar. On Wednesday we have news on the US dollar. So you kind of just know what to expect during the week. Thursday we have news on the Canadian dollar as well. And on Friday is obviously a holiday. It's a bank holiday. Christmas Eve and all that stuff. So you just need to be aware. Don't be trading. This week is going to be an interesting week. I'm not expecting the markets to be reacting so much because people are gearing up for the holidays and everything. The other thing I can show you is this right here, finviz.com. It also helps me identify like how the market is doing, what to really look at. Obviously, all these sites have like advertisements, so you just deal with them as they come. But yeah, finviz.com. So you see, if you have like a green, then the market is bullish. If you have red, the market is bearish. Okay. Now I'm surprised to see lumber, is bearish at the moment, knowing how much. Oh, whole market just went red, right? You all saw that, right? You all just saw what just happened. But yeah, what I was talking about lumber. So we all know how much the prices of lumber had gone up. Wood was like costing like some crazy prices, and it kept going up by the day. So seeing the prices, obviously the market has to self-regulate and obviously try to balance itself. So I'm not surprised that is happening. Looks like the indices are red as well. So not surprised, like the market was pushing up at some point. We are on a bull run, but I'm thinking the market is just trying to correct itself. Most definitely. Crude oil is red, but I'm just showing you, you could come in here to Finviz and you'll be able to see exactly what's happening in the stock market, with the indices. Like there's all these things up here, like your futures, Forex, like it's going to definitely help you big time. Just to see, on top of your technical analysis, now you're going to have fundamental analysis, which is news to help you know what's happening in the market. I'm not going to take so much time on that. Pretty much what I want to do is to simply just look at what is happening in the market and what to expect this coming week from these markets for sure. One of my favorite pairs that maybe we are going to start with, I'm not going to take so much time, but Euro USD, I love Euro USD. I look at it all the time. It pays off, right? And again, this is educational purposes, just so that we can all learn how to analyze the market and make some money for ourselves from from financial markets. That's kind of how I see it. I look at myself as a trader, not just a forex trader, but as a trader. I trade stocks, I trade cryptocurrencies, I trade forex itself. And if there's money to be made, you want to learn how to do it, right? So we are here to make sure that we are definitely profiting by educating ourselves on the right way to make money from this market for sure. Okay, so Euro USD, we are on a downtrend. You can see market broke these levels right here. So I'll go ahead and maybe mark it up a little bit for us. This is on the daily time frame. Mostly when I'm trying to do my markups, I'll always go down to the I do the multiple time frames, right? A top-down analysis. I start with a higher time frame, working my way down. But I'm mostly going to mark this up so that we can see what's really going on in this market. So this is a good zone right here. We can see market broke this area. Okay, so the market broke that area. There we go. We can see market here is pushing down, right? It broke this area, retested, and you're going to hear me talk about break and retest so many times, and we are going to go through the concept itself. So market broke this zone, and it's a zone. I always say support and resistance is not an exact specific location in the market. It's definitely a zone. So market broke this zone right here. I'm marking it up from this level to the bottom right here. So if we bring in, let's turn this back to candles, we probably have like, there we go. Yeah, it's a beautiful zone. I like it. So market broke this zone, retested the same zone, and kept pushing down. So this is on the daily time frame. So we are clearly on a downtrend here. Okay. Now, the one thing I'm expecting is to see this market at least push down to these levels down here at 1 point, maybe 0.08, right? 1.08 on Euro USD. Now, that's probably not going to happen all the way this week because, again, this is going to be probably a slow week. But I'm already seeing in this consolidation zone right here. So I'm going to drop down to 4 hours so we can see the consolidation. So this consolidation zone right here. Okay. Let me pull it up. There we go. We'll go ahead and change. Okay. So this is a consolidation zone. This is on the 4 hours. So this market might decide to push back up again and play in this zone. But I'm expecting to see the market break. If we look at the daily, on the daily time frame, we already have this engulfing candle. Okay, this is an engulfing candle right here. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to mark up the level at which the engulfing candle is at. Is the candle that was engulfed right here. Is the candle that was engulfed. And if I go back to my 4 hours, this is significant, more so because I'm expecting this market, if it is going to push down, okay, my bias is for a sell position. But if this market is going to push down, I at least want to see the market pull back to this zone right here before it breaks down again. Okay, so I'm expecting something like this. And we can even push it down to the 1 hour. Let's look at 1 hour. 1 hour is always kind of like my favorite time frame to look at. But I am expecting a pullback. Oh, and we can even take this engulfing right here rather than going with the one on the daily. So right there, okay. Makes a lot of sense because that's why we have these highs here. So I am expecting to see at least this market push back to these levels before it pushes down. So I'm expecting to see a pullback all the way to 1.13. Could take this area right here, but this is the area I want to see the market push back to before it drops down for us. This is Euro USD. As I said, I'm just skimming through them so that as the week starts, I'll know what exactly I'm looking for. So when the market gets here, the dotted line shows me the closing price on when the market closed on Friday. So that was the closing price for the market on Friday. If the market comes here, I'll probably want to see a retest and then continue to push down. That's a scenario that I'll be looking out for. But then again, remember, one thing I always like to remind myself is, Kevin, you don't control the market. You have no control over what the market is doing. So this market can basically do what it wants. My thing is, I would like to catch the move as it's happening, okay, so that I can make money for myself. So right here, I'll be expecting to see this buy. And again, this is some good pips. I don't recommend trading inside a consolidation zone. It's not usually like a good idea, but 68, that's not bad, right? Then the drop and the break right there, that will be good. We are looking at this at 15 minutes. We can see what happened here. Market was rejected, pushed up, retested the same zone right here. This is 1.123, okay? Market retested the same zone and then decided to, it's now trying to push back up. The reason why I strongly feel like this market is definitely going to push higher, okay? So that's one thing I will be looking out for sure on Euro USD. So that's what I want to see on Euro USD. So just a second. So that's a possible scenario right there. And again, if you are going to be thinking, let me jump into this buy market right there. Okay, the one thing you have to pay attention to is the break of structure. So if you're going to take a buy here, you cannot just come and jump into a buy. No, you have to consider the market needs to break the structure. Again, these are small things that I always feel like make a lot of sense, right? But you have to like just pay attention to them so that you're not missing out on good trades. So that's a possible area for me right there. Possible area for me right there. So if the market is going to buy, I want to see a buy from after it breaks that zone. I'm not going to like jump into it without breaking that zone for sure. Okay. Oh, thank you, Maureen. I did not even realize that I muted myself. I hope you can hear me now, though. Thank you. So I'm just looking at Euro USD. I'm buying it to sell it. I want to see a bigger move for a sell than I'm looking at for the buy. So and if the market breaks these levels, 1.123, I would like to see a retest before I keep selling it from there. But there's a good chance we might see the market come down to these areas right here. And again, this is a consolidation on the daily time frame. I'm usually against trading consolidations. Like, do not do it like if you're not like sure what's going on. But at least that's what I'm expecting for Euro USD to happen. Okay, probably look at USD Jpy maybe. Always get tempting to look at all the pairs, but don't really have like all that time. Okay. So USD Jpy has been pushing up, still in this zone right here. So it's not like it's gone anywhere, but there was a nice drop here. Market came back to the same levels up on these areas right here. Let me just pull up my line chart. I'm seeing that zone right there. And there's a nice possibility, well, even without like going crazy with like analysis and everything. This is why I like using the line chart because it helps me see some things. But this does look like a head and shoulders pattern right here, right? So that being the case, of course, I have to start searching for where it is. Yep. Right here, we have our left shoulder. We have our head right there. Looks like the market is forming a right shoulder over here, which is good because now it helps us just know where the market is going to go to. First thing I want to do here is to identify my neckline. So again, I'll switch to my line chart. I have two areas that I'll keep an eye on. So right here, that will be my first. And the market currently is. Now I want to make sure that I'm putting in a zone and not just a line. I'll just maybe bring this up here like that. Then I also want to keep an eye on this area down here. Probably extend it once I get the wicks, the different candles. Okay, so there. And there. So this is good. I'm expecting to see a drop in this market. This is on the daily time frame. So we could see this, could see a push up again to this zone. Then market drop to these areas right here. So this is on the daily time frame. If I drop down to 4 hours and then 1 hour. So yeah, there's a chance the market is going to play in here. And also, I am not going to ignore the fact that we are on, the market is pushing up rather. So also have that in mind. But on the 1 hour, let's see. Yeah. I'll be looking for a short sell on this market. This black dotted line just shows me the closing price for the previous day. So today being Sunday, the previous day was Friday. The market closed at 1.13572. That just helps me know that. But this is what I'll be expecting to see the market do with USD JPY. If it plays here, if it comes and consolidates in this zone, okay, that's not gonna be, if it consolidates, well and good. But if it comes here, breaks, retests, that's going to be a perfect selling position. So if this market just breaks, retest, and then keeps dropping, then that would be awesome. Let me see if I can just move this right here. But again, we could see some kind of consolidation in this area. If at all the market doesn't decide to actually bounce all the way up. So that's also something. And the reason I'm saying that is because this market is kind of pushing up, right? So this might just be like a short pullback, maybe to these levels here. These areas, this place. So this was our engulfing candle. I'm gonna mark that up so that we know our potential position where the market might just drop down to. And we also have another engulfing here. So my TPs just get clear with a minute. There we go. So this is also this place right here. So that's good. Just in case the market decides to break, then you know what you're looking for. That's a good place. So it's that as well. Maybe this too. But that's what I will be looking for with USD JPY. Then we'll see how the market plays out for sure from those areas. Another pair maybe I can look at. I don't know if Maureen you have. Oh, there's already more people who hopped on. Okay, if someone has like a pair that you want me to look at, let me know. I'm just going through like the same things I look at all the time, preparing for my week. But if you have a pair you want me to look at for you, that would be good as well. I've only looked at Euro USD and now USD JPY. So US30. Oh, definitely I have to go through US30. I usually leave it for the last thing I look at, mostly because once I look at it, I don't want to see anything else, right? But yeah, we're definitely going to look at US30. Let me look at gold real quick, right? I like how gold is playing. So it broke this structure right here. This was a place like you can see the market was struggling at. Let me show it to you on the daily. Market was definitely like struggling in this small consolidation zone right here. Then after this, maybe we can look at US30 and call it a night. But if you look at this right there. Probably take that area. So gold consolidated here for a minute, for a couple, or since November. And finally it broke out of this. It's actually pushing up right now. It broke out of this consolidation zone, has given us the pullback, right? This is definitely going to be a nice buy trade. You might see the move push up to these areas up here. I do like this. I like that up there. Let's look at this. So this helps me with knowing where my TPs are gonna be. Okay. That's on the daily. We drop it down to 1 hour. This is going to be a really good move. Like I'm expecting to see this buy happen, and that's why I'm like, let's look at it right now, before anything else. Also, if you look at the signals group, right, on Telegram, let me take us there. We have all the markups that were sent from Kim on Go Live. We have all the markups from Kim on Go Live. You will be able to see, let's go. All right. So if the market decides to buy, right, these are your TP1, TP2, TP3. If you don't know how to use these markups, you're probably going to look at them and, you know, just help people with that. But this right here, if you follow the markups, you will not go wrong. And I made sure to send the analysis itself, so that you can, what am I doing? So you're able to see the TPs, right? If the market breaks there, buy area. Like if you just use Kim's analysis, you should be in a good place. And I'm not sure if actually people can see that. Okay, so this was the analysis on gold by Kimberly Torres. She's a US 30 Gold Cup educator with IM Academy. And every Sunday, she does chart markups for the week. You want to pay attention to that. But if the market breaks above there, then obviously you have your entries. For me, I'm already of the mind that the market broke this zone, retested. I want to see my buy happening. So for gold, I'm looking for that buy. I'm actually already in it. Okay, so you want to see that buy at least to that level right there. It comes back to these areas. And again, this is on the daily time frame. So this is a nice trade for anyone who's probably going to be taking it. And the one thing, if you have not traded with me before, I try to keep it simple. For me, it's all about the simplest thing, like market structure, break of structure. If the market just behaves exactly like that, then it's a good day for me. If you complicate your trading will be complicated for you. Like that's a fact, right? But if you can keep it simple, then you know it's going to play out well for you. So anyway, that's what I'm expecting to see on gold. Just to make sure at least you're jumping into it and get into some trades. Okay, so that's gold. And because of time, I'll probably just look at the indices at this point. So the one thing, this is US 30. Let me look at SPX first, baby. Do not like that. Okay, right here. So the one thing with the indices, if you are on the session that was it last week or the week before, we had already called this move. I don't know if anyone holds trades for the long term, but if you did, definitely paid out for you. We had marked up some of these like trades like a whole minute before they even happened, which was good because you could see it play out, right? So this is when it comes to indices, we are on a bull market. The market is bullish. Even though you are seeing the market pull back, right? We do know that the market is bullish. No, not expecting for it to like just turn around on us. But the market is bullish. I'd like to see it continue to be bullish after it has done this move right here. The other thing to keep in mind is that now the Fed chair announced that they're going to start doing the tapering. So keep that in mind because it's going to probably affect the markets, right? And also now we have the holidays coming up and everything like that. Again, I'm looking at my last engulfing candle before the market started pushing up, and that's where I'm setting my targets. So I have that right there. My black lines, definitely erase them after. SPX is definitely like coming to the area where I want to see it make a turn around so that the market can start pushing up, right? So I like this move. I feel like we'll probably see it push back up. So from here, right? I like this zone as well. Maybe here. Do want to see something like that. So that's on the daily. That's how it looks like on the daily time frame. And this will be how it looks like on the hour. So there's a lot of places for this market to react. You just need to like catch it. I'm looking for a buy though. Once this market gets into this zone right here for SPX, at least to equal some of these wicks or candles rather, then I'm trying to get into a buy. I have a buy bias right now. Then push move with the market as it goes back up. And you can always like refine your points here. So this is another engulfing candle. So this is also another point of interest. And I picked up this strategy with Stevenson Lindor, whereby the market always pulls back to the engulfing candles. And he was looking at it. I'm like, oh, wow, that's really interesting. And it actually does happen like that. Whenever there's an engulfing candle, the market pulls back to that zone. I'm not sure why, but I'll keep doing some research on it. But I know it's working, so I'll keep like using it. So right here, this black line, so this will be probably where I'm searching for a buy. But I want to see the market get into this area for sure, right here. And then I'll push with it going up. Let me just throw fibs in here just to make a few confirmations for myself. Okay. It's already gone past the 61.8. So yeah, this is going to be our 78.6 level down here. If the market doesn't push up from there, then this would be the area I'm looking at for the market to push up from. And at that initial reaction, market pushing down now. Okay, but that's pretty much what I'm expecting with SPX. Again, as you can see, I'm not really going down to like smaller time frames, 15 minutes. I'm looking at what I'm expecting to happen for the week. I noted when I do this, it becomes very easy for me to go ahead and hold trades. And if I can hold trades, I realized I'm trading a little bit stress-free. I don't have to trade every day. I don't have to look at the market every day, because if I can hold a trade and it keeps going in my favor, it's kind of like automated trading, right? If that makes any sense. As long as you know how to trail your stop loss, then you should be in a good position. But that's what I want to see anyway with SPX. So maybe I want to see if this market push down a little bit more and then buy up from there. Okay. If you go down to 15 minutes, you're going to have like a good look at what's happening right now. So market pushed up, it's been pushed down. It needs to break this zone, 45.74. You could catch a sell after it breaks that level from 45.74 to 45.56. If I'm not saying that you go ahead and sell, but if it breaks that area, you could take a small trade in that position. Just saying. But I'm not really going to like struggle getting into that position, because I ultimately want to buy, right? That's what I'm looking for anyway, from that trade. Let me just see if I can put it up there. Like that. Okay. And then US 30. I have a couple of charts on US 30. There we go. So US 30 will mostly be the same thing that's happening with SPX. They usually don't differ that much. This looks like it might drop a little bit more because of these areas right here. So I have this engulfing right here. Let me just look at the daily. This could be interesting. I like this zone, right here on where I have my purple line. But I also like these areas here. I don't see much here. Okay. So I'm looking at how the market was reacting in these areas. I'm already seeing, I do know, like we just looked at the 1 hour briefly, but I do know there's a place on the 1 hour that has a nice reaction. But this is where we have our last bullish engulfing candle. I don't know. This is the candle that was engulfed, right? So you see, this is the engulfing. Like this is the candle that engulfed this one. So there's a chance the market might pull back there. But when we go to the 1 hour, we have slightly more details of what is actually happening in this zone right here, okay? Slightly more details because we have, yeah, it's the same place. We actually just move this up here like that. Then we can create our zone right there. So that's an engulfing. That's pretty much what the market decided to push up from. That could be where the market comes to buy from. That's why I was saying this looks interesting because there's a big gap right here and the market needs to at least cover. There's also a chance it might buy from this purple line because this is a strong support and resistance area. So I have two possible buy areas. I'm just gonna mark them up so that we see them. But ultimately, I do want to see that buy. So you might see this. And you might see this right here. But also, this purple line is looking like a good place, and more so it's here. This area right here is looking like a good place to buy as well. If you look at these areas, market was reacting here, here as well. You just drop a line. There we go. So this would have to be a little bit low. That's pretty much what I'll be looking at with USD. But I'll see how it plays out in the course of the night, opening up for the London. There's going to be news, not tomorrow, but yeah, for AUD. It's probably not going to affect the market that much, but at least keep an eye. So that's what I'm expecting to see with the USD. If at all the market doesn't buy from my purple line. So 34,998 could be a good place for the market to push up from. Again, this is on the 1 hour. So if you go down to 15 minutes, there's going to be a lot more reactions than we are seeing, you know, on these time frames right here. The market is obviously going to be pushing up and down, right? You see the market come back here, then we drop there before it goes to where we want it to. So when you see me analyzing on the 1 hour, just know like these are long-term trades. Do not take a short-term trade based on this analysis, thinking that okay, it's gonna push from there. No, this is like long-term. I'm analyzing like on the 1 hour and the daily time frame. So just keep that in mind. NAS 100, it's always the last thing I look at because not just go to the daily. I like this right here. And I encourage all of us, like I really encourage all of us, take time to like learn and understand the basic concepts of how price action like affects the market and everything. See, we we always want to jump into like all these concepts, but the basics are pretty much kind of what we need. They are what we need. If you can do basics, then you should be in a really good place. A really good place. So right there. I like that zone. So we have an engulfing here. We also have some kind of a reaction right there. I do like it. So hopefully we can see this market push down here and maybe bounce back up from this zone right there. I don't think there's any chance of it dropping here. So when it comes to NAS, I always keep my analysis conservative. I don't try to rush it. I don't know it the way I know US 30. But if you know price action, if you know how market structure works, then you should be good with just seeing the market and taking trades from those possible areas. So yeah, but that's pretty much what I'm expecting. We have our bullish engulfing candle right here. That's why I marked up that zone. Pretty much, if you want to pull this in here. Okay, that's what I'm expecting. If there's anyone with any questions, you could go ahead and type them in the chat. Personally, I do feel I'm good to start the week, knowing where a couple of things are going. This is US oil. I have been trading US oil over the last maybe 2 months, and it's been paying off. Has been having some really good moves. Keep an eye on it as well. You know, gas prices will obviously push up, especially with winter. So we'll see. It's a big move. It's insane. It's like, where are you going all the way down here? Okay. If this market just decides to push here. That would be 115, maybe. Or you could buy from there. Like completely buy from there. I don't know if we're going to go back to like $90, but we'll see. But I'm looking for the price to drop down back to this level on US oil and then push up from there. We just see it on the 1 hour. Yeah. So it's reacted here before, so that's a good sign. So if someone is asking, if the market on the 15 minutes, the trade is on the marked zones, would that be a better entry or wait for at 1 hour zones? If you get the entry points on the 15 minutes, that's actually where you want to take the trade. So right now, when I mark up the zones the way that I am, I'm paying attention to zones, right? But once I get good entry points on the 15 minutes, that's where I'm going to search for my entry confirmations. If you have your entry confirmations on the on the 15-minute time frames, you are first of all going to have good risk to reward ratio, hopefully, because your stop loss is not going to be too big, right? And you have a very quick TP1, and if you decide to go for a swing trade, you'll have a really good entry. So you can both take short trades and stay in the trade for the long haul if you're trading on the 15 minutes. Yeah, that's where I personally take my trades, 15 minutes. Right? Like I'll always take my trades on the 15 minutes. You are welcome. Let me show you. Like for example, I don't know if people are still trading German 30, but German 30, I had looked at it before. And once this pullback is done, this is going to be a nice buy. Nice buy. I know we're not like going into it. I just want to show you like what to keep an eye on. Okay. So let's say this trade on AUD USD right here. This is on the 1 hour. And I want this trade to break and retest this zone so that I can go ahead and sell this trade. On the 1 hour, if I was to like put in my trade for a sell, I'll probably have my entry right there, and my stop loss will be somewhere above the previous candles, right? Because that's what you want to do, above the previous zone, or maybe let's say here. But if I drop this down to 15 minutes, I just want you to see like how this trade is actually going to move so quick. AUD, it's dropping for sure. But if you come into the 15 minutes, now you're able to like realize, okay, there's more reaction zones for me to consider. My entry is going to be a better entry than just having a zone for an entry point. So this trade is moving. I do like this trade, but I'm going to wait for it to break and retest. Patience is the name of the game, right? You want to see a break, then retest, then you can sell it from there. So sell it from 0.71044. And the numbers will probably not be exactly the same because of the broker that you're using. But this is a FXEM. It's not that off from KOT. But yes, take your trades on the 15 minutes. Is there anyone with another question? Right. There's no one with any other question. I'll call it a night. Take a look at AUD USD for sure. You can hop on pivots and see if the trade is ready for you to take it. Let me see. There's so many strategies that you can use when you're trading. But for me, the one reason I've continued to like look at pivots and stick with the entries on pivots is because the pivot lines are just precise, if that's the word to use, right? They're precise. You won't go wrong with the pivot lines. So we need AUD USD. Let me check on the 15 minutes. So market is at S0. This is on the 15 minutes. Is it 15 hours? Okay, this is 15 minutes right here. So you can actually see, you're not gonna just jump into it. Market is at -1, yes. So you wait for the market to break. I mean, at S0 on the 15 minutes, it is a good sell position. It's only that I already know that my markup here is telling me to wait. Again, you don't want to enter the trade at -1 because -1 is not an entry point, right? So it does you a lot more good to wait, be patient. Most probably the pivot lines are going to reset themselves if the trade is going to continue for the sell, or you'll probably see it come down all the way here, just below -2 and then reverse. What we can do is look at the 1 hour pivot lines. Oh, yeah, we have a long way down. We have a long way down. 0.70805 would be TP. 70805 is a good TP for that short sell. So crazy because I had taken this trade a little bit earlier. I usually don't let the Sunday moves pass me by. They're good moves. You might see them like progress throughout the whole week. But that being said, I'll let us have a good night, and I'll see you all tomorrow for the 8 p.m. session. So have a good night. God bless, and see you all tomorrow. That is Monday.
Thank you, Ken.
You are welcome, Nancy. Nice to see you. Well, nice to hear from you.
Well, if you be doing midnight one, I'll show up.
At midnight.
Yes, I'm at work in the morning.